In this video, I'm going to show you how does the labelizer segment your products and how does it work. So there are 4 topics that I want to discuss. First of all, what is product segmentation? How does it look like in action? How does each index group work? And how does their condition work for segmentation? And some frequently asked questions. The first topic, what is product segmentation? So the labelizer is a script that groups your products into different indexes based on historic performance and a few other conditions that I'm going to talk about soon. And what you get is 5 index groups. So you have over index, index, near index, under index, and no index. And each of the groups have different conditions based in the script, but then you can segment your campaigns based on the performance of your products. So how does it look like in action? In screenshot, you can see that you have an overview tab, and in that overview tab, you have all of the different index groups and how many products are in there, and some metrics like impressions, clicks, cost, conversions. And we also have some graphs below it, which show the conversion value and the cost per index group. What you can do with it is submit it to Google Merchant Center. I have a video guide on how to set it up in another video, which I will recommend in the end of the video. Then how does the conditions work for each of the index groups? So I'm going to talk about all of the 5 different groups, and I will first start with the over index group. This group are your products that are performing above your target extremely, and there are 2 conditions that must be met. So the first one, it has to be enough clicks. So that's calculated by your average conversion rate and your click multiplier, which is a setting in your configuration. Then it also needs to comply with a ROAS check. So the ROAS must be significantly higher than your target ROAS, exceeding by a percentage that you also can set in the configuration. Then the index condition. The index condition works quite similar for the over index, but instead of having a significantly higher ROAS, it needs to be met or a little bit over your target. That's the only difference, but it's also a good performing product. Then we have near index, and the condition for the near index products is that the ROAS is slightly below the target, but within a defined range. So if you set your range to 20% and you set the ROAS target of 5, it has to be between 5 and 4. And there's not another check for this one, because it already checks for clicks and everything in the over and index group. Then we have the under index, and the condition for this one is that it has to have at least 1 conversion or enough clicks. So it can be a product that has 1 conversion or a lot of clicks, and it has to have a low ROAS. So the under index products are mostly the products that are quite expensive, have not been performing well, and you want to limit the budget to this index group. Then we have the last one, and that's a no index condition. And this group is basically all of the products that have not met any other condition, and that's because they have low impressions, low costs, have not proven themselves to be an under index product or a over index, index, or near index product. So those products, you want to give them to a separate campaign and allocate some budget to it so that they can prove themselves and get some traffic. Right? There's some frequently asked questions. So I have 3 questions prepared that I often hear and get asked by. The first one is, why does a product with high ROAS end up in near index? So as I told you a little bit earlier, sometimes I get a question that a certain product has a high ROAS, but is not in an index or over index group. And that's because the product specifically has not enough conversions or clicks, and that's why it's a near index. It has not enough data to be significantly okay to set it to an index or over index group. And that's why it falls in the near index group, because it gets more conversions than to be a no index group. All right, second question. How does segmentation work for new products with no historical data? So what we built in the latest version of the labelizer is that every product that comes into Merchant Center, which is new and has no historical data, will be set to a no index group. And that will mean that every new product is automatically no index. And that's why you need a no index campaign that specifically targets no index products to get the traffic going and to get those new products some traffic and hopefully conversions, which will lead to an over-indexed or index group product. The third question, what happens if my product moves between index groups over time? So if you have a new product, it starts at the no index group, and then it gets some traffic, it gets a lot of conversions, then it can automatically move like in 1 week to another index group, for example, an index or over index group. And if you set up your campaigns correctly, then it will automatically change to the right campaign because of the segmentation of the labels. So that works really great. Also because the performance is on product ID and on the campaign. So the historical performance is kept to the new campaign. And that's why the labelizer works great. And that are all the frequently asked questions and how the conditions work for each of the index groups. If you have another question, you can just ask them in the comments below and I will help you further. That's everything. Thank you very much. And don't forget to like and subscribe.